make things right. We're going to get it back on track.
Back on track, baby.
Going to rock the intro. No surprises. Emporium, not shop. Try not to make anybody cry this week. Going back to old days.
Old days, going back to old school. Cheers and welcome to From Behind the BarCast, the podcast for bartending, and jinking in general. I'm Kelly. I'm Paxton Eugene. We got Sunset Kelly on the ones and twos over there. How you feeling this week? How we doing? How you feel? How do you feel about what happened last week?
As far as my performance, I would call my contribution in that role, in that chair, the captain's chair, middling at best.
Okay, I thought it was above average.
Thank you.
Now, the thing that you that hurt you the most, that you let self-hurt.
Yes.
Was you said bartending, service industry, and jinking.
I just flubbed the whole intro.
Well, see, the thing was, if you hadn't just said that, I was going to say, he said jinking on purpose because you know jinking is a word.
It is a word indeed.
Jinking is a word, everyone. And I'm going to tell you, I bet a lot of you jink.
Yeah.
And have been jinking.
Jinking.
Ing, which means to dodge a pursuant. Duck, dodge, avoid a pursuant.
Well, I mean, it's applicable, but that wasn't really the impetus behind my stuttering and stumbling.
And not necessarily the police.
Yes.
But I think all of us, gentlemen and ladies, probably more ladies than gentlemen, have jinked a few guys before.
Yeah. I've jinked a lot in my life.
A lot of jinking going on with the drinking.
Well, what happened was I had my little minor script about to open the show, and you remember you even said add cheers at the beginning and all that. I noted that down and all that.
You've heard it. But I don't know. I
was under the impression you were going to be sitting over there, across from me when we started the show, and you weren't. You're standing over here behind me, just staring at me with that prison mugshot, but you're smiling like a crazy person. And I'm kind of focused on you and then the intro ends, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Because you're just standing there staring at me like, you're going to come sit down? What the hell? And then that's all I could think of was, why are you over there and why? And then my tongue just went.
There was a subtext in your face before you started speaking that said, oh shit, the song's over. Oh, he's not there.
Yeah. It was the one scenario we didn't discuss at all.
Well, as you know, I'm no jazz musician, but I do like to improvise.
Yes, you did. And I shouldn't have made you aware that when about my nervousness when I have to be on cue for something,
especially at the intro.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a little movie. It did pretty well. It's called The Godfather.
I heard of it. Yeah.
You've heard of it? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Got some good actors in it.
Yep.
And there's a guy named Luca Brasi outside, and he's outside the door. He goes, "Thank you for inviting me to your daughter's wedding. I am humbled. I hope their first child is a masculine child."
Yeah. I mean, dude, you were up here kind of doing your thing that only you can do on this equipment when it goes sideways. And I'm down there pacing back and forth, just saying it in my head. Cheers. Welcome to Behind the BarCast. Had it down. Didn't even miss him, had Inferno nailed. But
Inferno hot sauce.
Emporium. Well, I said shop, but it's an Emporium and all that. Which you jumped when we got back to it. You jumped back in. And I said, "Yeah, man, Inferno Emporium, hot sauce Emporium." And then that's when I kind of thought maybe not lost control of whatever, but definitely needed some guidance. The surprising thing was just how slow time passed for me being in your chair.
Right.
It was completely different. Over here, 45 minutes, hour and 15 goes by like nothing. But being over there, I thought I guess maybe the first announce was like the 20, 25 minute mark. And I was almost out of questions.
Yeah.
Or now I needed to realize I needed to expand, I guess, prod a little bit more. Delve it
Well, it's
deeper
literally your
into.
first time at the helm of trying to keep. You don't necessarily want to keep track of how much time has passed, necessarily.
Yeah.
But after you've done it so many times, you sort of forget to care, and then sometimes I'm surprised at how little time has passed.
Yeah.
But more times I'm surprised by how much time has passed.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was a guest, it was different. I mean, and I wasn't nervous. I just learned that I speak very quickly occasionally and run words together and all. But it's definitely, I mean, it's like pulling up to a bar and some random person wants to talk to you and all that. I feel totally comfortable in that environment. You know, I mean, it could be a certain person. You're like, oh, please, God, don't sit down next to me.
You want to jink them.
Yeah. But occasionally, you know, it's just easier to answer questions more than ask questions sometimes. You know, to get stuff out of people as opposed to them tell you stuff, then you can respond by going, oh, well, what about this thing you said?
A little deeper.
Yeah, you know.
Give me a little more.
Yeah.
The other thing is there's a fear of not necessarily silence.
Yeah.
But since it's a show that's being presented to people in whatever medium, audio or video.
Yeah.
There's this need or urge inside of you to maybe not necessarily just keep it snappy or moving, but it's a mental stack.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm not over here like see what Daddy does over here. Try that.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, it was. I think I was when we broached it. You know, a few months ago.
It's not hard. It's just until you've done it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like sitting at when we like some guests that we've had. I have sat next to the bar with them.
Yeah.
And it was as smooth as silk, baby. Sun Tzu, flow like water.
Yeah.
As soon as you sit in the chair, you feel like you have to present in some sort of way.
Well, we discussed some sort of structure, at least question-wise, and things I'd like to ask. You know, nothing really got you. I mean, the America song was definitely one that I wanted to ask for a very long time and was frankly disappointed with the answer. I wanted it to be way more soap opera, you know, just like, I don't know. And then, but I thought that went over pretty well and got and frankly, a refreshing and surprising explanation, you know, which I was not expecting. I had learned it a few weeks before, and it just presented itself at the right time.
Well, I knew it would be a little disappointing because you were so excited about asking it.
I'm a romantic, man. You know, I was like, and what it made me feel about you as a person, I was like, not that I misread it, but I was like, see, that's a tender man right there. That's a guy, he wears it on his sleeve. Not this new modern version who needs the buffer of a drum kit or a bar between you and everybody else to feel a little more comfortable in the world at large.
Well, so okay, yeah, right, yeah.
You know,
but now, I know you're upset.
In
some sort of way that I wasn't the hopeless romantic that you thought I was. I know that hits you in a place that doesn't feel comfortable.
It's not the guy I know today.
Right. But I think just the happenstance of me learning that song was maybe the romantic spirit that embodies us all as humans presenting itself to me.
It was a perfect song for that moment. I just was more surprised. I just assumed, like, and we know they say about assuming.
Yeah.
You know, I just assumed that I need a song. I got one in mind. This is gonna say what I can't say. You know, like that old trope.
Yep. Get used to it. I don't think about nobody never.
Well,
some say I've got a cold stone for a heart. Maybe they're right.
Well, I had probably 5 or 6 things that I wanted to delve into, and we got to this pretty quickly.
Well, I wanted to ask, since we're doing the recap, let's go ahead and do the recap.
Yeah.
And there's a few things that I did want to answer, and we can kind of run through that a little bit. I sort of cut it short, not on purpose, but when you were asking me about the buffer of...
Yeah, well, I didn't...
the bar versus the drums versus...
The podcast itself. And I guess the lead-in really should have been, you know, without really putting you on the spot, was you got a little social anxiety sometimes, you know? I mean, I do. I know I suffer from it occasionally.
No, no one will fucking believe me about it.
Yeah?
Okay? I have crippling social anxiety. It's really easy to not have it if I'm playing drums because I'm occupied.
Yeah.
If I'm bartending, I'm occupied.
Yeah.
If I'm Here's what makes my social anxiety 1,000 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
Any notoriety at all that the podcast has makes me. There's going to be people that I meet that I don't know very well.
Yeah.
But they've heard my voice a million times and they know me very well.
Yeah.
And if I can't return that
energy,
the knowledge,
right?
I want to shrivel up and die.
Yeah.
And then I hang up and I lie. You know?
Yeah.
And it's not about confrontation because there's nothing to be confronted about.
Yeah.
These are people that listen.
Yeah. I mean, I knew this wasn't pulling like the curtain back and, basically saying Paxton's a little, nervous around crowds sometimes or certain situations. And you don't have to be like 20 or 50, 100 people. It could be just the wrong people.
I can go to a concert and be fine because I don't know anyone there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's the old adage, like, I hate people, but I love crowds.
Right, yeah.
I can't remember what movie it was from.
Yeah,
it's ironic as hell, but that's how I feel sometimes.
But try and tell someone who does the things that I do.
Right.
A podcast, drumming, and bartending. Oh, you have social anxiety? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I have...
And it's not stage fright with you. It's just...
No.
It's not... Has nothing, performing is not your problem.
I can't smoke weed.
Yeah.
But you take... Man, I'll take DMT, mushrooms, and acid at the same time and be fine.
Baby.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a weird... That won't give me a panic attack.
Well, so the lead-in kind of... Yes, I wish I had led in with that and then gotten to...
Yeah, I wish you would have asked better questions and you were just better.
And I wish you'd answered better too as well. You aloof
I wish
prick.
it wasn't such a fluff piece.
Yeah. But no, I think we got to most things. But it's like anything where, say you have a confrontation with somebody, and this was not a confrontation, but
or even
like,
just a conversation.
Or you're driving away, or you're leaving, and you go, and this is what I should have said.
You know what I should have said.
Listen here, Mister. You know, and better comebacks.
Or if you go, it was Steely Dan.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out some piece of
Something,
trivia or something
or whatever
like
case may be. So when I went back to rewatch it, and you were very kind and said, dude, you did very well and all that, and I'm re-listening to it. I never traditionally do that. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But I knew as soon as I watched it, I was just going to be looking for everything bad You're
never going to be happy.
No. Well, dude, I watched my interview endlessly because of the vanity and just wanted to see if he would move the numbers on the YouTube so I could stay ahead of Martin whenever that came back up again. Because Martin was mad because he's like, this guy has no social media at all. How's he beating me? How's this guy winning?
Maybe social grace works better than social media.
I guess so. Well said. But no, rewatching that wasn't nearly as nerve-wracking as watching.
Okay, so watching yours, where you interviewed me, was the only one that I've watched front to back or listened to front to back.
Yeah,
because I can't listen to the ones where I'm the lead because it's cringe to me.
Interesting, because you've done it so many times. Yeah. Like I said, I've
done this 176 times now.
Yeah.
Nothing ever changes about like, I killed that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was moments I think we were getting the job done, and then there was moments where I had. It was kind of like, man, I should have followed up with this.
Could have had a little
more. Or I could have dug a little bit deeper and all that. But, when we got to talking about the parents and things like that, I wanted that to be delicate, because I didn't really know how to ask, I mean, not like, how'd you feel? I mean, but, just like, I think that was kind of the narrative that I wanted you to put out there without much prompting from me. Because I've had my own family stuff happen. Sure. I think we all have, tragic or not.
Sure.
And, but this is your first time, at least as far as I know, without your friends being directly around you or sharing a beer talking about it, where, you were telling whoever would want to listen, this is kind of my family journey.
Yeah. Well, I've never purposely kept not having a family a secret.
Yeah.
I have a really great stepdad.
Yeah.
Which my relationship with him now is better than it has ever been.
Yeah.
For the past like 6 or 7 years. Because it was terrible when I was growing up.
It can be.
But outside of that, it wasn't like I was keeping a secret from anyone.
Yeah.
But
I had, well, I mean, you and I have talked about it somewhat, but but it's, to me, that kind of stuff's very delicate, depending on the age and when things like that happen to you, and you don't want to.
Well, it's been so long since my parents died at this point. Like, it's almost such a distant memory that, like, the only kind of feelings it conjures is like positive memories now.
Well, yeah.
But during the time, like losing religion, anger at the thing up there that, may or may not exist.
Right.
All those feelings of like just anger and hatred.
Yeah.
Probably better to happen when you're 19 and then 21. that you can get all your immature emotions out.
I mean, it's such a it's a weird dynamic to end up on Tybee because my dad passing away is what got me to Tybee. Now, conversely, that's what got me to meet so many wonderful friends.
Yeah.
And that journey. And,
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. But and then like my brother and sister who they have a vague memory of him now. They're into their late 20s and all that. But at that age, when you're like, they were basically 13 when he passed away, and they have questions about him and what was he really like? Because I temper that when I tell them about my trips to Vegas with him and stuff they're never going to get to do. I mean, I'm sure Disneyland's great when you're a kid, but Vegas when you're drinking. Oh, man. Rolling the dice. I mean, it was just, the memories that they won't ever have. So I try to temper that when I'm around them. And I just say, look, if you have if you remember anything good about him,
then hold on to that.
Then hold on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah.
I thought that was just a delicate area, and I think you covered it very well without much prompting.
Like I said, we didn't do a lot of prompting because you kept asking me things, not during the interview, but like, is anything off the table? I'm like, man, if it is, I'll just tell you whenever. And that'll make good television.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you ask
Well, really, the only feedback, I went over to Hilton Head and played golf with Mom, and the old Iron Lady, she still beat me, and playing golf as well as ever 5 months after knee replacement surgery. But you did send me a text saying, hey, when you watch it on YouTube, let me know about the chapter thing.
Yeah.
And, dude, that was spot on.
All right.
Wherever the lines were,
Should we be afraid? Okay, audience, let me tell you, Scott, I feel like I'm only talking to you right now, which is good. I mean, I put the last week's episode up on Spotify. Well, we use Spotify as our host, and then it goes to Apple and whatever. I discovered a few weeks ago that at least Apple and probably Spotify as well does transcripts of the episode, which are entirely accurate.
Yeah.
Scarily. I put it up on, so when I put but we haven't put video up in 3 weeks. So when I put the video up on Spotify, it chaptered it. And I start looking at the names of the chapters, and it says Growing Up Hood.
Yep. Family issues.
Uh-huh.
It even spelled Huckapoos right, except without the dashes between the C, the A, and the P.
So is AI the scariest thing in the world or helpful?
I don't think Skynet's completely up yet.
Yeah.
They're still testing it out.
We're going to have to get to 8G before that happens.
Yeah, and then we'll worry about...
But so using that as the template, because you've been able to chapter your segments on YouTube forever.
Yeah.
But you had to manually do it. I mean, you still have to manually do it. You have to type in the timestamp in the description. And
that's how you presented it to me, like, hey, we maybe want to do some shorts or something like that. But I think they're almost like done in a way if you wanted to do
When I looked at Spotify, I was like, well, all the subjects we tackled are already chaptered.
Yeah, and I think the longest chapter was, it might have been the family issue. That was the one and all that. But even as the conversation changed within that subject, you could click on it and it would say something more specific. But then you get back to the actual chapter name.
I don't know if it's scary or great. So anyways, if you are a subscriber on Spotify, which there are 560 of you, more than YouTube.
Nice.
There's about 300 something on YouTube. And you want to, and if you're watching the podcast, from now on, you can skip to any chapter you would like if you don't have an hour to listen to the whole thing.
Well, I hope that doesn't affect things, because I've heard in the past,
I think it'll improve things, because it's daunting to listen or watch an hour of something.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Especially
but there's always this thing on YouTube early on where it's like, don't skip to the end to see the end of the car build.
Well, we don't put any fucking ads in there like that. You know
okay.
What I mean? Not yet.
Yeah.
And if we would. We're available for advertising.
If the host of the previous week could actually just say it right.
Yeah, well, right, yeah. Well, luckily this week and every week we're sponsored by Inferno Hot Sauce Emporium. It's right across the street from Huckapoos. They have cheese crack balls you can get from mild to wild, hot to no shot. Oh my God, check them out. They got all the Hot Ones hot sauces. They got samples for everything. It's a beautiful building.
Yep.
And you can sit outside with all the sports watchers and yell at a television if you'd like. Because when I got to work the other day, Saturday. Now, last week, Saturday, Georgia played.
What's past week?
Let's see. Who did they play the first week of the season?
Oh, it rhymes with Tiger.
Anyways, whatever. So that was probably a good game, I would imagine.
What? Clemson, Georgia?
Clemson and Georgia. Was it a good game?
For a half-ish.
Okay, yeah. I'm walking into work 2 days ago, this past Saturday. There's a little rain coming down, but not enough to stop work.
Yeah.
And I am just hearing volleys of cheers,
yeah.
awes, oohs. And I walk up and I'm like, well, they must be watching the Georgia game.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was already on. Kind of didn't care because it's early in the season.
It was a 2:00 kick, too, which is kind of a weird time.
So I get there. You know what all the jeers and hears and haws and ahs are about? Georgia was up 48-0 on this cupcake team. And there are still people in there going, oh, really? Pass interference?
Yeah. 2 yards. Oh, dude. Going by Nicky's. You want to talk about another Bulldog stronghold? Go by Nicky's on any Saturday, babe.
Be a sports fan.
Yeah. Go by Nicky's and watch and listen to that crowd and their, ooh and ah and moan and groan. Even when they got the third team out there, And it's like.
Be a sports fan.
Yeah.
If there's all right. You want to complain about something? Here's what you're allowed to complain about. I watched a few college football games the other day, and the targeting calls have been getting incredibly out of control. And they eject the kids when they target. Now, look.
Well, there's targeting with intent, and then there's one that's just a personal foul. So you don't automatically get kicked out.
If they find it with intent, you get ejected?
Okay. Yeah, like if you launch yourself. But
people target.
Yes, it does happen.
That happens.
Yeah, it's football.
When there's two athletes at the top of their game and receiver catches it within 4 yards of a DB or a linebacker, no matter what you do, the helmets might hit.
Yeah.
That is not targeting.
They look at it as if you're going to tackle him. I think the idea is like if you're going to tackle this dude, you're going to run into him and tackle him, not launch off your feet like a missile.
Right, yeah.
Okay, well. That's I think, what the premise of it is. If the guy catches the ball and outruns you, then that's just football and he's faster.
Well, my buddy Joe had a really great take on it. It's like, these big guys now, you can't arm tackle them down the field.
No.
So you have to put a shoulder and a bottom.
Yeah.
Guess what's right next to your fucking shoulder? Your head.
Heard that.
I'm no anatomist.
Yeah. Well, it started at the quarterback position, and it's just blossomed to every other position, I mean, look, I get it. It's a dangerous sport. You can't,
Yeah, but you do sign up for it.
Well, yeah, you do. And that's why the NFL's basically not for long, is what they call it.
Yeah.
And the quarterback's traditionally the franchise guy that the most money spent on and blah, blah, blah.
Well, see, the quarterback's a sitting duck. I understand the targeting rule for that.
Yeah.
Or the late hit for the quarterback. I get it.
Yeah.
But watching, I think it was Colorado and whoever, there's 3 targeting calls that were just so ticky-tacky.
It can be ticky-tacky. And even when I was watching the Georgia-Clemson game, there was some stuff early on that went in our favor and didn't go in our favor and all that. But I kind of went with the idea like the refs are letting them play a little bit. That's kind of when they're not throwing flags all over the field for every damn little ticky-tack thing. I kind of like that in a way. It's kind of like
the NFL
not that the refs probably don't see it, but it's like let's let them play a little bit.
The NFL does that, but I don't see college doing that very much.
They think they do it. Maybe not
play.
intentionally. I don't think they have a meeting to go, hey, let's let them whop each other for 20 minutes.
There's an unspoken agreement everywhere with every official. Like, all right, let them.
Yeah.
But agree to disagree, Kelly.
Oh, please.
Let's not get an echo chamber.
We rarely disagree about anything. So
let's not get an echo chamber here. But I don't think they do it in college.
No? You don't think they give them a couple plays just to sort it out?
Maybe in playoff terms.
Yeah.
Late in the season.
Yeah.
But no.
I'm not talking blatant stuff.
No, I know.
I'm just saying stuff that would normally get flagged.
Buddy, I know.
But I just like the ideology of like.
I think they do it in college basketball.
The Zebras are letting them play.
I think they do it in the NBA, college basketball, and NFL.
Yeah.
In college football, I don't think there's that much give.
Oh, dude.
I'm right, you're wrong.
Well,
so
I'll give you this, and I'll leave it at this, and we'll move on. But you watch some of those old NFL films from back in the day.
Woo! Talking about letting them play.
You're talking about a mugging on the field. The only thing missing is a gun and a knife sometimes or something. God, that was some violent football back then.
I mean, they would try and
gear that was.
They would try and give them a second butthole.
Yeah.
With their fists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember One player was talking about how a finger came through his face mask, and I just bit the damn hell on it. Yeah,
I think it was Dick Butkus.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie Lott lost half his finger,
finger,
but then just sewed up and went back in the game.
Yeah.
That was a different thing.
Put it in the cooler. I'll be back for it.
Pretty much, yeah. And if it's not good and it's not reattachable, which I guess it was, and I don't know. But yeah, that was a different brand of football back then. And
and not necessarily better, but just like that's the essence of it, though. And I'm not like, hey, everyone's got to be a caveman.
Yeah,
but targeting's getting.
It is a dangerous sport. That's why they changed the kickoff rule. One, because it became boring because of all the touchbacks, and two,
I'm cool with the kickoff rule.
But when you give guys basically 60 yards to field
and
to sprint as fast as they can and just lay into somebody,
Usain Bolt pace.
Yeah. I mean, woof. So they made some changes, which I'm still getting used to that and how that works. But
another thing about the college football season, which has two things that have a deep effect. Mm-hmm. The deepest effect is our losing of our friend Robert Ridge Bobo.
Yes.
The remote controller of the controller.
The man in the production truck.
Yes, exactly.
And we're going 2. Yep. And we're going 3.
Close shot to Coach so-and-so, and we're back to NBC because 5 minutes till kickoff for this game.
Yeah, Bob.
We're not waiting for this game to end. It is a blowout. We are going to watch the beginning of Iowa State, Iowa, whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's already a stressful situation not having Bob there.
Yeah.
Number one, a person with special needs. No, I mean, there were some jerk-off fucking jackasses that would be like, hey, man, why don't you turn.
Yeah.
But typically, a man with special needs isn't going to get the third degree from people wanting to watch something when he's like, no, this TV is for this TV is for that.
Yeah.
And then on a lesser stress value is DirecTV, ESPN, Disney are having some kerfuffle where we can't get a lot of games now. And they're starting to put some on Peacock. I don't know, nothing.
Dude, Thursday Night Football is on Amazon now. Amazon Prime.
Peacock is really peacocking right now.
Yeah. I mean, but that's also an offshoot of NBC, too.
I understand that.
So that's how they use that leverage.
I understand that. But whatever the deal is with DirecTV and ESPN, they need to figure that shit out because someone's losing money.
We got to get some guys to a table with an arbiter of sorts.
And our owner and boss, he bought some Fire Sticks so that he could use Peacock and stuff. But our Wi-Fi, we're a big place.
Yeah.
We have one router.
I mean, you've got to have, just off the top of my head, I'd say at least a dozen TVs in there.
Probably 16 TVs.
Yeah, including outside and just scattered around the inside.
So, you can put
the one in the kitchen.
Yeah, you can put the Fire Sticks on all of those things. But, because my TV outside, it's in the dead zone between Ty Bean, which is right next to us. Great coffee. They're open from 7 to 1 every day. Ty Bean, which is right next to us. And then our Wi-Fi, it meets in the middle. That's why I've never been able to get solid fights out there, like the pay-per-view UFCs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the Wi-Fi signal isn't good enough out there.
Yeah.
And so
well, when
RIP Bob and RIP all of our stress-free football season lives.
I mean, it's probably the one, and some other places might take offense to this, probably Nicky's more than any, but it's probably the one place that probably feels like the truest sports bar on Tybee as far as being able to go there to watch any number of games on any number of TVs. Because just because it's Georgia doesn't mean it's Braves on all the time every day.
Right.
It's the Falcons on all the time.
If it's an important Georgia game, well, that's every TV is going to
be on Georgia Dogs, Bulldogs.
Yes.
That's a different animal.
Yeah. Wait, are you racist? Did you just call Indians animals?
Every once in a while, and I rarely have Saturdays off. I always work at night, but if I have that 1 o'clock slot, I can usually go watch a game and be home by 3 o'clock or so. So I come up to Huckapoo's and not feel the trigger effect of having to drink and party or anything, but I'd kind of back up.
And, there's enough space where you can jink anyone that you don't want to be sitting next to.
And Bob, when he was around, bless his heart, he would always, he'd give me the rundown. He goes, but I guess I could put you on. I guess he knew the teams by numbers or whatever, and he'd be like the smallest one. Usually the one that's over by the entrance going into the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you have to look over your head.
If you're relegated to that TV, then you're the lowest on the rung.
Yeah, but it's a Clemson game. He goes, all right, I'll put you on the least noticeable one in the whole room.
Where you have to crane your neck the entire time.
Yeah, walk out of there with a neck brace.
Just like your team does when they play Georgia. Am I right?
Yeah. But we had enough of a friendship where he'd give that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd find it.
Hey, man, all you got to do is be cool sometimes, and you can get some of the things that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? Absolutely.
When we started the show last week, and again, I wouldn't fluff you or blow smoke up your ass. I thought you did well.
Thank you.
Watching it, there were some things that I was like, man, I could have, expounded on a little bit, but whatever. I think that every week about things that I ask people. I'm never happy with my performance. And if you ever are, then you should stop doing it.
Well, yeah. You know, I knew I had the option to probably go like, you know what? That whole thing sucked. Can we just start from the beginning again? But after talking about it, I'm like, you know what? Just leave it. Warts and all.
I would have told you, especially if we'd have got done, I was like, Kelly, I think that was unsatisfactory.
Yeah.
Not only for personal reasons, but for just the good of everyone to not put shit out.
Yeah, because the quality of the show is very high. What we do here is very,
brother, if we're not in tip top all the time.
Yeah, then what's the point?
What's it?
But we both agreed that the warts and all was like, I was like, man, I really want to do that again. Can you splice it in? And then I started thinking about, you know what, fuck it, just leave it.
And I've said jink already like 3 times this week. Yeah. It's a usable word.
It is a usable word. You sent me
Let's not jink the fact that you janked the intro.
Yeah, because it could jinx it.
It could jinx it. It could jinx this whole thing. So during the intro, outside of jinking, janking, Jervis Industry, and Gingerol, so I was over there, and you described the smile as, one more time, can you tell me what it was?
It's like a mugshot of a serial killer.
Serial killer smile.
Who is not quite aware that he's been arrested or cares.
Right, yeah. Well, it's funny you say that. Last week, I woke up a little late, forgot my car wasn't here because I'm safe. I don't drive home from work when I'm drunk. No. Not that I drink at work or anything.
Take a breezy, rider, everybody.
Take a breezy driver home. It's 669-9966.
That is not. Do not that.
Take breezy hot sauce emporium. Yeah. Call Chelly. CHELLY.
Continue. Jackass.
There's a daytime guy. His name's Brant. Cool guy. Known him forever. He used to come into the bar all the time. He was one of my regulars. Now he's driving the bus or the van during the day, almost as a hobby, just to keep himself out there. He's retired from the medicine industry, something like that.
Yeah, he was like a military medic of some sort.
Yeah. Cool dude. Last week, I'm getting a ride to work with him, and I get in the car. I get in the front seat. I don't know how tinted your guys' windows are, but they seem a little tinted.
From passenger back, black, definitely. Can't see in.
So I get in the car. Not in a huff, but all right, ready for work, like I was emotive.
Yes. And
I'm in the car more than 30 seconds before I noticed that the entire van is full of 6 grown women. And I turn around and go, "Well, hey." They go, "Hey, sir. Hello."
Timidly.
Hi.
Timidly. Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, how you guys doing?" They're like, "No, we're just fine. Nothing's just fine." I was like, "They're really nice." I get out of the car and go to work. Think nothing of it, except for, wow, I've never heard, here we go with the hack fucking 80s jokes. Never heard 6 women be that quiet.
Yeah.
You'd have heard that in every fucking comedy club and from here to Boston.
Take my wife, please.
Yeah. Watch the fat lady get into the elevator. It closed and then it opened back up and the skinny lady got out and the guy, dad asked the son, "Where's your mother?" Yeah. He didn't understand how the elevator worked. Anywho.
So there's a little story behind why they were so.
Yeah, there's a little story. So this week, it's been a lot cooler. So I was going to walk to work instead where my car was. But it's pouring down rain. Call the Breezy Emporium. They show up. It's Brant again.
Yeah.
Same guy from last week. I get in the car. He goes, "I got a funny story for you, Pax." I said, "You have a funny story for me." Now he's like,
he's a nice guy.
Nice guy, social guy.
Yeah. Seems to get what we do.
But I thought the joke would be, "How did 6 women be that quiet?" Sort of thing. No, not that he's misogynist. I've never seen anyone dote and love a wife so much.
No,
he loves that woman.
Yeah.
Anyways, He goes, Paxton, I got a funny story to tell you, man. I was like, what's that? He goes, remember the women that was in the car last week? I was, sure I do. They were like super nice. They were quiet as mouse. He goes, well, this is what I told him. I said, listen, we're going to pick up a guy. Now, he was accused of killing his wife, but he's been exonerated completely of all that. And as far as I know, he's been staying on his meds for the past, I don't know, 6 months or so. Just don't make any sudden movements. He's only going from here to here. So whatever my emotive thing that I did when I got in the car set the tone. It was like, so I said, Brand.
No clue.
I had no clue. I said, Brand.
Beautiful.
I'm glad I didn't have a clue. But my, creative mind, trolly mind, I was like, if you'd have just told me that, I would have gotten in, pretended I didn't see him. And then when I saw him go, I hate saying, people behind me. I would have really played it up. But I literally walked into work the day that he picked me up with the women in the back and go, they were so nice.
No, they were terrified.
and it's not, and I don't remark on like people being nice all the time. People can be nice, but
that's a refreshing way to accept strangers into the car, because Breezy is a very kind of school bus mentality. Hey, if we got an open seat, more or less, we're gonna, if we got 2 open seats, we're gonna put 2 more people in the car, as long as people aren't sitting on top of each other, unless they're like in one group and they're friends.
Well, and it's like a wine and food pairing. You're not gonna put 4 attractive young women with 2 swinging dick looking dudes that look like they're out there.
Or usually it's 4 dudes on 1 girl kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
And logistically, it's better for me to drop her off first, but I'm not going to let these guys know where the girl's going.
Where the girl just got dropped off.
Or the girl's savvy enough to kind of go, just drop me at the corner.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Sure.
I guess that's a world that's obviously a thing out there.
That's
But traditionally, I'm more concerned about everybody just getting along, not peddling some fictional story about the next dude getting in. Just to.
I didn't know he had it in him.
I didn't either. He's always been super nice. Obviously understands how Breezy works.
He's a straight shirted, works hard, shows up.
Yeah, he does have a sense of humor. I just didn't know he had that side too.
I knew he had, because he and I have joked around before too.
Yeah,
but never to the point of a setup.
Yeah, my exchanges with him when we do the baton handoff at 5:30 are like, we clear, anything going, and then I usually talk to Ron Lee for a second and then dive in the car and off I go. But I knew he had a sense of humor, but not a wicked sense of humor.
Daytime Breezy takes a lot, typically around the time that I'm leaving, takes a lot less time than nighttime Breezy because the volume's lower.
Yeah.
He set this up within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Literally from the call to him getting there, the ladies might have already been in the car.
I mean, the only thing that could have made it better if it was been 5 nuns in the back seat or something like that. But no, like I said, I'm always more concerned about everybody getting along.
You're definitely not planting time bombs of like, all right, they said he killed his wife, but he's been exonerated.
Yeah. I mean, I maybe you, maybe Marty, maybe 2 or 3 other people I might, if I thought I had the wherewithal, the mental awareness to be like, you know what, Paxton would get this, and this would be a great story if I did that. and these ladies, I've ridden with enough to know. But I think that's great. I probably should take a page from that book, frankly.
I loved it so much. And I imagine he probably driven him around like the day before or something like that. So he had some sort of, I don't care if he had rapport with him. That was a good bit.
Well, we've had other drivers who think they're funny and they're not funny.
Yeah, I remember a few of them.
Yeah, they just were offensive.
Yeah.
And being funny and offensive isn't the same thing.
No. People can be offended by the thing,
Yeah. I mean, really good comedians toe the line of being offensive and funny and all that. But some of them are just coming across as being just chauvinists.
They're called edgelords.
Yeah, edgelords.
Over the years at Huckapoo's, at a lot of bars probably, they'll have little mascots, So probably like 10 years ago or so, we had this guy named Happy Nappy. And he was just some vagrant hippie off the street. And he would sit out there and pedal for change to get beers and shit. But he was sort of the Huckapoo's mascot because if the general idea of Huckapoo's 10 years ago were to be were to culminate into a person, it was this guy.
Okay.
He would steal our forks and make fork sculptures out of them that would spin on top of each other.
Oh, nice.
Like devices that take some skill.
Sure.
So it's two forks and the points sit on each other and you could spin them around and stuff. Eric had to drag him down the street a few times. You know, he was a problem, but he wasn't a problem. But if anything, that the general idea of Huckapoos 10 years ago to a person who didn't know what it actually was, but just as if you looked at Huckapoos from the outside, saw the people would be like, that guy is Huckapoos.
Yeah.
So we've had mascots.
I vaguely remember him. He was kind of going out as I was coming in, but he's made some appearances since then. He had me convinced that he was Eric's brother.
A lot of people.
Okay. I was like, okay.
Just like people think Mike's the owner because they're like, only the owner could do the things that he does and still work here.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Oh, that dude, a lot of people thought if they're guys of certain heights with certain lengths of hair, they're like, must be Eric's brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he's letting them sit out here stealing forks and making fork sculptures out of them.
But I was like, all right, so you're the black sheep in the family. Okay.
But now we have a cat Scott.
I saw that dude last night.
Cat Mascot. And so Ty Bean, the shop right next to us, I think their cat mascot, Bean, was there maybe a year or two after they opened.
Okay.
I've been at Huckapoos for 14, 15 years now, and we've only had human mascots. And let's be honest, they were also animals, but mascots nonetheless. Okay. We didn't have Cornhuskers. We had fork fuckers, whatever. And
I'll eat with my hands from now on when I go to Poos. Thank you very much.
And so we got this cat. They named it Hank. And like Crab Shack probably has 10 cats.
Oh, easily.
But cats are territorial. But I don't think there's a beef between Bean and Hank. Bean is Ty Bean's cat. Hank's the Huckapoos cat. But one of our employees, Ashton, he takes our cat home at night just because he likes to.
Okay.
It's not necessary. But this cat leads right into our... Oh, shit.
It's the Karen of the week. It's the Karen of the week.
Oh,
ding, ding.
shit. I'm going to try and put the reel on top of it and see how close we got.
Not even close.
3 bitches.
Oh, boy.
You come to the bar. Everything they ask for. Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in plastic. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have? No. Oh. I want a Rapturous sour. Hand them a can. It's in a can.
Okay.
I don't even think they bitch. I don't even think they make Rapturous in bottles. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I've never seen a bottle of Rapturous. They just nothing is making them happy.
Okay.
Then the lady goes, "Ooh, could I have Pinot on ice with soda?" Said, "Yeah, I'll make you a spritzer, whatever."
Yeah, I was about to say that's the thing.
Yeah. I unscrew the bottle of Pinot and I hear the, since we have a screw top bottle of Pinot, I'm like, fucking look around.
That's
lady.
no measure of any wine.
Not anymore.
Anybody who has any sense about wine these days, it's not a measure
not anymore,
of anything.
but it does have one on ours because we're cheap. We buy cheap shit wine.
Yeah, fair.
But you're putting it in a Spitza anyways. So do you drink? I know you like Sauvignon Blanc. Do you drink spritzers?
No.
Okay. I just want, all right, I'm asking the world at large. I did 50-50 soda wine. Okay? If you're going to drink a spritzer,
but that, then it's kind of splitting hairs because do I like a mimosa? Sure, but that's champagne and OJ. So it's like quite the same thing. But so I guess I'm not above a fizzy glass of Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot or something.
I'm just saying the ratio. She drinks it, she goes, "Did you put any wine in this?" So number one is goddamn motherfucking wine. It's Pinot Grigio. Okay? I could have put all Pinot Grigio in there and a splash of soda, and it probably would have tasted nearly the same. Yeah. So I poured her an entire glass of Pinot next to it, charged her for it. Yeah. I go, "There, make it yourself."
Just cutting through it.
Yeah.
Let's get down to this. If I'm not going to make you happy, you make your own
because bitch A and bitch B have already had problems with our plastic and our things that don't come in bottles coming in a can.
My God.
So then, listen.
Oh, I'm listening.
Listen.
We all are.
I hate these women.
Easy.
I hate
dislike
them.
You hate them or dislike them very much?
I hate them.
Oh, boy.
They start mentioning the cat. All right. Now, the cat, whether Ashton, our employee, took it home every night or not, that cat will live large at Huckapoo's. It'll be just fine. That'll be its territory. It'll fight with some raccoons every so often. It'll catch rats. It'll eat real well. It's going to live a good life. It's probably living a lesser life because Ashton takes it home. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, man, I want to be in the streets.
Yeah, I'm a street cat.
You know?
Yeah.
He's like, what litter box? What the fuck is that? You know?
Yeah.
So these ladies are taking some sort of umbrage or offense. They're like, I saw that cat. Poor thing. It's around here. Da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, is it a black and white cat kind of thing? They're like, yeah. I go, yeah, I know, it's so sad. Don't worry about it. Our owner hates it, so he's going to have it put down tomorrow. I did not want these bitches to find any joy.
But he doesn't want to spend money, so he's going to put it in the drop freezer and leave him in there overnight.
See, that's the thing. Like, after they left, I was like, there's a million better things I could have said.
That was good. That was good
But
enough.
right away, I was like, don't worry. He's putting it down, dude. He hates cats.
That's solid. Yeah. As soon as we clean the kitchen.
I promise it won't show up in the pizza. But yeah, man, he's been getting kicked all day. Like,
God. So they didn't like the drinks, but all of a sudden they got a soft spot
all of a
for
sudden they
Kiki.
got a soft spot for a cat
Kiki, yeah.
who's living
Yeah.
a fat life off of pepperoni crust.
A lot of cats on this island are living a very good life. Like the ones up at Crab Shack are the most finicky cats I've ever seen. Like, I've had enough peel and eat shrimp for a lifetime. Give me some of that crab cake. Give me
mahi, damn.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Because I've been up there before and been on the deck eating and been like, hey, get a little something. They just come up and sniff it and just move on, man. Like, buddy, we've had this 1,000 times.
That's so hilarious.
Do better.
Yeah.
Try harder.
Do better.
Try harder.
Peel and eat shrimp.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Where's
Try
the blue
crab
crab?
cake? Give me something. Damn.
Well done this week. How do you feel about it?
It was a little bit of a recovery from last week, and I hope everybody did enjoy last week's episode. And if you knew Paxton really well,
I've gotten only positive reviews of it.
And if you didn't know, if you knew Paxton very well and didn't, learn anything new, then that's on me. But I hope if you did listen and you do hear it when you finally do, I hope you really enjoy it.
If you gleaned anything from it, Kelly can do a lot of stuff. He's not wasting his life. Yeah. And listen, fuckers, I have social anxiety. I can mask it when I'm at work because I'm doing something and when I'm playing drums. I have social anxiety.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
No.
I'm not pretending.
Nope.
It's nearly crippling. I know I seem outgoing because I work and I do things like this. But it's just me and you sitting here, baby.
And I'll tell you this, and if this adds any sort of credence to social anxiety, I'll see you at the IGA and I'll duck an aisle just because I don't want to talk to you.
I'm not talking to you at IGA.
I know your car's there. I kind of peek down the aisle. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I need ramen today. I'm good. I'm out. I'm gonna go get something else.
It's a real thing, man.
Yeah. I feel like frozen pizza all of a sudden. And it's you. You're one of my best friends, But it's like, I'm not in the mood to talk. I just want to get the food and get the hell out of there.
Come on, man.
Hat's down about as low as it can be,
Well, thank you guys for listening, and mostly thank you guys for tolerating Kelly last week.
Yeah,
we'll make sure he does better next time. But that was fun. It was nice.
Fun.
It was nice to kind of switch it up, and like I said, we got a lot of positive stuff from it. So now, if you're on Spotify, and please subscribe to Spotify and the YouTube channel, there are chapters. So if you don't want to listen to the entire thing, or if there's just a certain thing that strikes your fancy in one of the chapters, you can just jump right to it, baby.
As long as it doesn't affect views skipping to the end.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't care about numbers.
I always thought that you had to watch to the end to first.
No, I don't. No, don't care.
Okay, fine.
I just want people to watch.
Good.
Whether it just changes the numbers or not,
And
we're here for creativity.
And if it's a train wreck, then so be it.
We're here for creativity, not for number crunching, man.
It's basically for just you and me.
Yeah, right. All right, guys, we love y'all. Subscribe to or follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube and Spotify and Apple, and we love you. And goodbye.